did want to talk to you guys about the new Ford GT as well. Hopefully we'll get to review that for you here soon. I want to talk to you guys about the new power plant because there's been a lot of backlash and a lot of people saying, oh, it's a V6 and shouldn't be in the supercar. And there's a lot of people talking about why, it should have had a V8. And I'm one of them. Should have had a V8. But instead of just saying that, I wanted to explain to you my reasoning and talk to you a little bit about some numbers. And first of which, I'll go ahead and put that up now for you guys to take a look at the numbers. So fuel economy, power, and reliability, all this stuff goes into it. But fuel economy definitely isn't one of the reasons why you'd want the EcoBoost in the Ford GT. The new Ford GT by far is way less efficient than the old Ford GT and the 2013-14 GT500. The 2013-14 GT500 is relevant because that is the successor, the Trinity V8, to the V8 that was in the Ford GT. So the Trinity V8 is a 5.8 liter V8. They get the extra displacement from ditching the iron liners and going with the spray-on bore liner in the aluminum block to get that extra 400 cc. They also put a 2.3 liter TVS blower on top, which is a vast improvement over the previous generation blower. So there's a couple other things that are changed in there as well, but they're more car specific. But basically, the fuel economy is, like I said, fuel economy isn't the reason, power isn't the reason. The 5.8 liter Trinity V8, as it is in the GT500, makes 662 horsepower and 631 foot-pounds of torque, both of which are more than the EcoBoost V6. The fuel economy is better in the 5.8 liter as well. As you can see, the Mustang being 600 to 700 pounds heavier and having more power and having more torque is more fuel efficient by a mile. 24 miles per gallon versus 18 miles per gallon on the highway, and I believe 15 miles per gallon versus 11 miles per gallon in the city. So pretty decent fuel economy hikes with the 5.8 liter V8. That being said, the 5.8 liter was in the Mustang, and there's a couple of changes I would have made to it if I was going to put it in the Ford GT. So the 5.8 liter does not have twin independent variable cam timing like the Coyote does, which would be really helpful in making it even more efficient and also giving some tuning flexibility in there. It doesn't have the dual fuel or direct fuel injection, which would necessitate new cylinder heads, which they could even play around with that some and even increase the flow of the heads while they're redesigning the heads for direct fuel injection. And also, they have some more efficient or larger blowers on the market now as well, perhaps maybe even a 2.7 liter blower. But all that being said, I guess what I'm getting at is in order to put that 5.8 liter in the GT, I would like to have seen TI-VCT, I would like to see direct injection or dual fuel injection, and also maybe even a more efficient or larger blower, all of which would have substantially increased the 662 horsepower rating that we saw in the Mustang. So also the sound is so much better. I mean, a lot of people like to say it's subjective, and I know you could argue about it all day, but come on, guys. I mean, do you really think a GTR sounds as good or better than a 458 or 458 Speciale or a 488? Or, I mean, come on. Or would you really argue that a Honda Odyssey sounds better than a Camaro? I mean, it's just, yeah, it's subjective, but you kind of get where I'm coming from. It would have sounded better. The torque would have been instant. So not only does the new GT uses twin turbocharging, and from Car and Driver, their source is saying at 30 PSI. So the GT500, the Trinity V8 with a 2.3 liter TVS is making 14 to 15 PSI and making 662 horsepower. So obviously you don't need to argue the fact that things under more pressure are more volatile. So if you're able to make the same power with less boost, you're winning, right? So there's all these reasons why I think the new Ford GT should have got a V8. But all that being said, guys, I really enjoyed the opportunity to drive the new GT. Let me know, I'm sorry, the 05 to 06 GT. Leave in the comments what you think about the new power plant, what you think about some of the points I brought up, if you have thought about those things before, or if you thought they were good points, or if you think there's other reasons why you might want to use the V6 and packaging might be one of them. The V6 is a lot smaller. So all that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what content you guys want to see. Ask any questions you have, and we'll go from there. Thanks, guys.